Good morning, everyone. Now that we understand what computer graphics are, let's look at two major types. We have 2D and 3D graphics. When you say 2D graphics, these are flat images that have two dimensions with uh, two dimensions, width and height. Examples includes logos, icons, illustrations, and many digital drawings. 3D graphics, on the other hand, have width, height, and depth. They are designed to look more realistic and three-dimensional, like objects in video games, movies, simulations, and 3D modeling software. So the simple difference is 2D is flat, while 3D gives us a sense of depth and space. Here we can see a simple comparison between 2D and 3D graphics. On the left, we have 2D graphics. They are flat and mainly use width and height. Think of a drawing on a piece of paper. It has no real depth. Okay, so on the right, we have 3D graphics. They have width, height, and depth, which makes the object appear more realistic and gives us the impression that we can see it from different angles. For example, a 2D cartoon character may look like a flat drawing, while a 3D character can look like a real object with volume, shadows, and depth. So remember, 2D is flat, 3D has depth and volume. Okay? Okay, now let's compare 2D and 3D graphics using four important features. First is the dimensions. Uh, 2D has only width and height, while 3D adds depth. That's why we use X and Y for 2D and X, Y, and Z for 3D. Second is how they are made. A 2D image can be drawn or painted, while a 3D object usually created a 3D model made up of many polygons. Okay, so third is the viewing angle. With a 2D image, what you see is generally fixed, but with a 3D model, you can rotate it and view it from different sides, from back, front, back, top, or bottom. Okay, so lastly, finally, we have the lighting. In 2D, shadows and highlights are usually part of the image itself. In 3D, the computer can calculate how light interacts with the surfaces of the object in real time. Okay. Oh, for this next table, first we have the file size. 2D image is usually smaller because it can be stored as a single image file such as JPEG or PNG. Okay, so a 3D project can be much larger because it may contain 3D model, textures, lighting information, and other data. The second is performance. 2D graphics are generally easier for a computer to display. Okay, so with 3D graphics, the computer has to perform many calculations such as processing polygons, textures, lighting, and camera movement. That is why 3D applications in games usually require more powerful hardware. Finally, Examples like games like classic Super Mario Brothers and Stardew Valley mainly use 2D graphics, while games such as The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Call of Duty movies, and VR experience use 3D graphics. Okay, so remember, 2D is generally a simpler and lighter, while 3D is more complex and requires more processing power. So the difference between the 2D and 3D graphics, let's learn some important 3D graphics terminology. So first is a 3D model. Think of it as the blueprint or digital representation of an object. Just like a blueprint tells how a house should be built, a 3D model tells the computer what an object looks like, including its shape and structure. A famous example is the Utah teapot. You might wonder why a teapot. It was created in 1975 by Martin Newell at the University of Utah and become a standard reference object in computer graphics because uh, its mathematical description of the shape was made publicly available. Researchers and developers could use the same teapot to test and compare different graphic techniques. So when you see this wireframe teapot, remember it is not just a teapot. It is one of the most famous test models in the history of computer graphics. Important term in 3D graphics is a scene. Okay, so a scene is the arrangement of object, lights, and the camera in a 3D environment. So think of it like setting up a movie scene. Okay, so you decide where the characters or objects are placed, where the lights are coming from, and where the camera is positioned. In 3D software, we do the same thing. We can have a 3D object such as a cube, a light to illuminate it, and a camera that determines what you see. So, so, so remember, the 3D model is the object, and the scene is the complete setup containing object, lights, and camera. Okay, so for example, if we create a 3D room with a table or with a chair, lamp, and camera, everything together makes the scene. Okay. Another important term in computer graphics is rendering. Rendering is the process where the computer takes all the information in our 3D scene, such as the objects, materials, lights, camera, lights and camera, and calculates what the final image should look like. Think of it this way. The 3D model is that we create. The scene is how we arrange it, and rendering is how the computer produces the final picture. Okay, so in Blender you may see an object in the viewport. Okay, so Blender is a 3D software or 3D or a software that create 3D graphics. So but the final rendered image can look very different because the computer calculates the actual lighting, the shadows, textures, reflections, and other visual effects. Okay, so remember, so when you're working with a 3D object, so first is a 3D model, the second one is scene, third one is rendering, and uh, the final image, which is the final output. Like, that is the process of having a 3D model. Okay. Okay, so the 3D graphics pipeline is the series of steps that a computer follows to turn a 3D model into the image we see on the screen. Okay, so there are three main steps here. So first is the modeling. This is where we create the 3D objects. For example, we can create a cube, a car, character, or building. The second is transformation and lighting. We decide where the objects are placed, how they are rotated or scaled, and how lights interacts with them. This is where we make the scene look realistic. Okay. Next, the third is the rasterization. The computer takes the process 3D information and convert it into pixel, which are tiny colored points that make up the final image on our screen. So we can remember the process as first is the model, next position and light, the third one is the pixels, and the last is the final output or the final image. So in simple terms, we create the object, arrange and light it, then the computer draws it on the screen. Okay? Now we move on to the transformation and lighting, an important part of 3D graphics pipeline. Okay? So a shader is a small program that runs on the GPU or graphics processing unit. Its job is to help the computer determine how each pixel should look based on things like light, color, surface, and position. So here we can see different ways of shading a 3D object. So we have, what do you pronounce it? Go-round shading, go-round shading, calculates lighting at the vertices of the object, and then smoothly blends the colors across its surface. The Pong shading goes a step up further by calculating the lighting more smoothly across the surface, producing more realistic highlights and reflections. Okay, so look at the examples of Goraud. Gives us a smoother appearance than a flat shading, while Pong produces a more natural and realistic highlight. Okay, so simply remember, so shaders, when you say shaders, that is calculate how object should look. Okay, so the round shading is a smoother lighting. A Pong shading is more realistic lighting. So next is this. So let me what you call that? Correct the pronunciation of this. So we can pronounce it Guro shading. Okay, so Guro shading developed by Henry Guro. Okay, so Henry Guro. Let's take a closer look at the Guro shading. So Guro shading was developed by Henry Guro. It is a technique used to make 3D object appear smoother by calculating the lighting at the vertices or corner points of the object and then smoothly blending the colors between them. So one advantage is that it is fast and does not require much computing power, which made it useful for earlier computer graphics system. However, it also has some limitations. Sometimes the highlights can look blotchy or uneven, especially when a bright spot falls in the middle of a polygon instead of near a vertex. This can also create visible lines or match bands across the surface. Okay, look at the image. So Guro shading uh, gives us a smoother appearance than flat shading, but the highlight is not as precise or realistic as the Pong shading. So the key idea is Guro shading. It is fast and smooth looking, but less accurate in lighting. Okay. Okay. So next is the Pong shading. Now let's look at the Pong shading, which was developed by Bu Tong Pong. Bu Tong Pong. Okay, so Pong shading is designed to produce uh, smoother and more realistic lighting on 3D objects. Unlike Guro shading, which calculates lighting in vertices, Pong shading calculates the lighting for each pixel. Okay, for each pixel. This allows Pong shading to produce much more accurate specular highlights. Okay, so those bright spots you see when light reflects from a shiny surface. Okay, look at the two spears. The Guru shaded spear has a simpler highlight, while the Pong shaded spear has a smoother and more realistic highlight. Okay, so the disadvantage is that the Pong shading requires more computing power because the lighting calculations are performed for many individual pixels. Okay, so that is Pong shading. So remember, so Guro is faster lighting calculated per vertex, but Pong is more realistic lighting and calculated per pixel. Okay?